Welcome friends to a new game analysis video in my Road to Class A series. This is game number 22, I believe. And this is round number 3 of the Spring Swiss. This game was played back in April on the 24th. And I'm playing a new player who's new to the club, who's 1298, and he's been here for a few weeks and I haven't had a chance to play him yet. And he is a rising player. Really strong competition. He's rising quickly, so he's doing the right things. And I feel as though this is going to be a pretty big test because he's 1298 right now, and I'm 1652. Now, I've got 300 points, but I think he's got a couple hundred more points in him. So he's probably around the 1600 area if he could be a little bit more consistent. So definitely not somebody to take lightly. So his name is Lee, and let's see how Lee plays. So I played e4. We are now an e4 player. I'm back to fundamentals, and this is what I'm playing from here on out for quite a while. And he plays b6. He plays the Owen's defense. I play d4 and gain this nice big center. He plays the normal developing move, and I'm protecting my pieces, my pawn. I'm getting developed quickly, and he plays f5. And here I thought for a while, and if I remember correctly, this is move number 5. And at this point, I'm a little out of book, and I thought, okay, can I play this move? And if you guys are looking at the position, please pause the video, try to figure it out. Can I play e takes f5? And if I can, please comment down below and let me know what the sequence is. And we'll continue. If you did pause, you did take a look, here is the answer. Yes, the answer is you can. You have to see this, and you have to be okay with it. But there's nothing wrong with it because he's going to come here. If he goes here, we get this and we fork, and you're just up a piece. The game's over. Now, what if they play g6 though? And you have to see this part. You play here, and if he takes here, then we have the next sequence. And you've now got your piece back. And you've gained a second queen. This is game over. And then what if he plays this? Then we just win the queen. He wins the rook. And we pick this up. And this is really tough for black to deal with. No matter what, you've lost a rook, but you've got all this compensation. You picked your rook back up, and you have this huge initiative, huge attack. This is going to be extremely difficult for black to deal with. And then if they play queen takes g6 and king to e7, we then have this move here. And the king's getting flushed out, and it's going to be extremely difficult to deal with. And we can always just pick this piece up too. So there's so many things. This was a huge mistake that I missed. And so can you take e5? The answer is absolutely correct. You can. And what I could not see, I could see this. Actually, I'm sorry. I could see this. And I did not see this next move. I didn't see deep enough. I didn't see that. And I had trouble working out all of these scenarios here as well. Now, I know for next time that this is a mistake, and I'm going to take that pawn every single time if I see the Owen's defense again. I didn't see that, unfortunately, so the game would have been a nice miniature, but instead I actually have to work for it. So I played knight f3 because I couldn't work out all the stuff. I just couldn't see it deep enough. Now you look at it now and you're like, oh wow, that's really easy to find. How did you miss that? Well, in the throes of a game, you want to make sure you concretely check everything out. And I have already thought for 8 minutes, and I thought, well, okay, 8 minutes on move 5 is kind of crazy, and maybe I should have spent another 8 minutes on it. I mean, it is game in 100 with a delay of 5, So it's not like I didn't have time to actually spend on that move. Maybe I should have spent more time and not given up so easily. I know for future reference, so it happens. So let's go ahead. We'll continue. So he takes, I take, we exchange some pieces on e4, and then we get knight to f6. And here I thought for a while about whether or not, oh my gosh, whether or not I should be able to take the knight, or should I just move back, or should I move forward? I had a couple ideas here. Okay, everybody, relax. So I think the best move here is bishop g5. And if he takes, then we take. There's some scenarios here. We can do that and then move back, and we get this nice sequence. I think we could also do that. And then we get another sequence here. So there's a lot of options. I ended up taking and making my life really difficult. Not difficult, but I could have made some more forcing moves, right? There's some better options here. So he played this, which to me was an extremely odd move. And I didn't really understand why. I feel like he just wanted to. Now I'm looking at it now. I didn't understand it during the game. I understand why he made this move now. He wants to get castle to kingside. But if he moves it here, I can just take it off and he loses the right to castle. If he goes here, I'm going to kick it back and he's got to go back anyways. So this is probably the best development square for this piece based on how he played the opening. But I don't think that's his best move. I think his best move should have been to develop the knight and maybe castle queenside. That's my idea. And then going here makes a lot more sense because now you're attacking the king and you can get this over here. You can get this knight over here or this rook over here. And things are much better for you. Much more better. I speak good English. So I played queen to e2. I'm looking for some possible tactics against the e6 pawn. He castles very quickly. And for those of you that don't understand why this is a particularly good move, which I believe it is, what can happen if I say make some other move? Let's say I played c3. Do you see the option? Rook takes, queen takes, and now I have dropped a piece. Rook takes, and now I'm struggling. I'm in trouble here. Now, maybe I'm okay. Maybe I can defend this. It is a little bit scary to deal with, and maybe it's okay. Here, he's going to lose that, but I think if I play here and he just comes back, maybe I'm okay. This might be all right. But I didn't see that far. I just saw this and him being able to take here. I did not see the next move, thinking, oh, well, I could just do this. So I saw the tactics, and I thought, okay, let's just get out of the tactics and not worry about it and move on. Those tactics are probably fine because of the that sequence that I showed. But so I developed normally. I've connected my rooks. We are out of the opening and definitely within the middle game. And I thought, well, let's challenge the bishop. And here I had a very interesting way to consider. I thought that this was the best way. Now, this might have been a better way because now I can probably better for an endgame purposes, not allowing a passed pawn. And I played this way because I wanted to open up the rook and the ability to open up this rook. So I thought that was a better way to go. Now, maybe it is better to play in this way. It's probably splitting hairs, but I thought that there was a lot less counterplay this way, and I wanted to really open my pieces up. He plays rook a e8, rook a e1. I'm getting my pieces on my open files. That's my idea. Rook to e7, I'm expecting him to double up. Rook to f2, and he doubled up the way that I did not expect him to do because he wants to play here. And he has all of these pieces on that square. And I thought, well, okay, that's fine, but I can just stop that and move my pieces over. He goes here. I played rook to queen to f4. He's stopping me from kind of coming in here or going after any types of tactics. And he played queen to f4. I said, well, if you want to trade queens, I'm okay with that, and you can undouble my pawns. I thought about taking and then getting this and trading off my rooks. I did see this during the game, and I thought, well, I feel like I have really good chances in the endgame against a newer player, and I thought this was a decent way to go too. But I thought, well, if I have a chance to fix my pawn structure, maybe he'll take my queen. And he did. And so now I fixed my pawn structure, and now it's just a matter of playing a decent endgame. Rook to f7, knight to g5, rook to f5, kicking the rook. I'm hoping he comes out over here, and he does. And I thought, well, if I can get my pieces out here, I might be able to trap his rook. A3 might have been a better way to go and then play for this. Didn't do that, but rook to a3, d5. If he takes, he can't because of the tactics against the rook. Knight to d8. And I thought, oh, okay, now what do I do here? His rook is in a tough spot. He can't move anywhere except take my pawn. So I need to stop that for now. So we've stopped that. And now, is there a way that I can attack his rook and maybe potentially get it trapped? And I thought, oh, maybe there is, because I have this really long way to go. He plays rook to f8, which is a mistake. I played knight to d4. It also thinks it's a mistake, but I saw this and thought, oh, well, I'm going to get this pawn or his rook. He's going to move his rook. I'm going to get the pawn. And he played another move, which is not so good. I thought that he was going to play this. And I thought this was his best try. And this is probably equalizing for black. It's not as good for me as I thought it might have been when I was playing the game. But I feel like this is probably his best effort. And I believe, if I remember correctly, it was zeros right here. But you still have to prove it, right? So he didn't play that. And I pick up his other pawn, and now I feel as though I've got a lot of control because his rook is stuck. He can't do a lot. Now he's unstuck his rook, and he fixed his rook, protected it, and I thought, well, I'll just get this here, and now I can free up this rook from moving because I've got this here. And I kick his knight because his knight has very limited squares to go. And now I get to pick up the pawn on d7. Takes, take the knight. I get to pick up that, and now we're in a rook and pawn endgame. And I thought, well, my rook and pawn endgames are going to be stronger than his because I feel as though, I actually know nothing about this player, so I'm not quite sure, but I'm very confident in my endgame skills. More so than probably most people at my club. And I feel as though I have chances against anybody if I'm at an even endgame. And even if I'm down material, I feel like I have chances on the endgame to still win. So he plays here, I pick up the rook or the pawn, and now I've got a passed pawn and a 3-on-2 situation. So now it's just a matter of kind of going through the motions and stopping him from getting close to my pawn. And as long as I can stay ahead and not trade pieces, now I'm definitely winning. So there's no way for him to stop me getting in. And now I can just kind of push through my pawn. And I expected him to resign at this point, and he did not. He made me play it out, so which is kind of funny. He made me play it all the way until there was mate in one, and then he resigned, which I thought was kind of a silly way to go. But that's my only real complaint about the game. Other than that, I enjoyed this game quite a bit. He showed a lot of interesting ideas. So if you like this game, please leave a comment. Did you get any of the questions that I asked during the game correctly? If you did, please leave some thumbs up and subscribe. It really does help me out. It's the single most important thing that you can do to help me grow with my channel and share with all of your friends. Thanks for watching, everybody, in my journey to Class A, and I hope to catch you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.